Of the view now. And right in the rear of the picture, where you see all these stones, that's the Bremerhaven Zoo. But here you see how many people are still waiting who also want to join the cruise to Helgoland. So it was a very liked travel. Many people simply wanted to flock to that island that day. So very eagerly waiting for the possibility to embark. Okay, that's already the descent from Bremerhaven. All the new people have come on board and we are leaving the pier. There is another small harbor docking site with a small ship to the right, and most of the shipping sites are now being approached by our ship. So we see already some cranes in the back, in front. There are many more directing boats for the large container ships. Here the fleet with the fire boats. So that's the fire protection. They are still guarding this coastline, and behind you see all the docking facilities. There were the goods come on freight ships. So we are quite rapidly approaching that site. The sea is very calm, because here we are already in the mixing area where the Weser River is mixing with the North Sea. Also the coastline becomes quite elongated, so the opposite river boundary is quite remote, and the depth of the sea has reached quite considerable values, so that very large freight ships can simply drive into that docklands over there. So there is this crane that I mentioned beforehand. So it gives a quite good impression how laborious this harbor can be, simply because of the number of all these shipping facilities. So to the right there is a small boat coming towards us out of the small harbor entrance. It's a red boat. So it's now getting out of the right border of the picture. And here we see many more crane plants, also a large storing house behind them. So, and now a turn of the camera back to this little directing boat, which has now left the small harbor and is traveling in the same direction than we do. But we are much faster. And here you see the direction where we came from. So now the boat becomes much larger velocity. It's accelerating and we are heading towards the North Sea, passing all these grain facilities. They appear to be quite endless. But this gives a good impression simply about the size of that harbor. So now there is a shanty choir. The people have now a break and they are heading for this beer selling place. So there is another harbor entrance, which is quite big too. Many more cranes and loading facilities. Also ships on dock. And we also see that some of the containers have been moved. So a big container ship is now coming into view. It's not fully loaded, but already the containers, they look over the railing, over the border of the ship, but it can still host many more of these containers, of course. And another of these directing boats. So they simply regulate the traffic here on this part of the Weser River, which is one of the most dense sea traffic areas in the whole world. So you are really in danger of collision if you don't have the guidelines of these directing boats, at least in the harbor. So these are now the huge container lifting facilities, so special cranes. But there was not much activity, of course, at the moment, because